The renowned Stoic philosopher Epictetus once remarked, "The key is to keep company only with people who uplift you, whose presence calls forth your best." You've likely encountered the saying, "You're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with." Today, we'll delve into this concept through a Stoic perspective, examining the 7 types of individuals who can hinder your progress in Stoic philosophy and how to manage these challenging relationships. Before we dive in, please like the video to support my efforts in spreading Stoic philosophy. If you haven't subscribed yet, I encourage you to do so and hit the bell icon to stay updated on new videos. Type of people to avoid. Number 1, the complainer. First up, the complainer. We all know someone who constantly finds fault in everything, be it the weather, their job, or even the food at a favorite restaurant. You might think, why should this bother me? I can just ignore them. However, it's not that simple. Continuous exposure to such negativity can drain your mental well-being, much like a leaky faucet slowly depletes your reservoir of emotional energy. Stoicism encourages us to focus on actionable solutions instead of problems. For instance, imagine working on a project with a habitual complainer. Each meeting becomes an exhausting session of grievances with no constructive dialogue. The result? Team morale declines, you're diverted from finding solutions, and you might end up disenchanted with the project and life itself. How does Stoicism help us handle complainers? Several strategies exist. First, limit your exposure to this person whenever possible. If that's not feasible, perhaps due to family or work obligations, mentally distance yourself during their tirades. Think of their complaints as a passing storm, noisy and unsettling but ultimately temporary and powerless against your inner tranquility. Another tactic is to steer the conversation towards solutions or change the subject to something more constructive. As Marcus Aurelius said, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This timeless Stoic wisdom encourages us to safeguard our mental peace, ensuring that chronic complainers' negativity doesn't derail us from our Stoic path of resilience and virtue. Type of people to avoid. Number 2, the drama magnet. Next, we have the drama magnet. Imagine navigating your life as a ship sailing through calm waters, only to encounter the whirlpool known as the drama magnet. This person always seems to have an unending series of crises and conflicts, pulling you into their chaos. At first, their energy might seem like passion or excitement. However, being in their orbit is like steering a ship through a storm, exhausting and dangerous. Their crises can feel like your own, and you might find yourself entangled in conflicts you had no part in initially. For example, consider a friend who frequently falls out with others in your social circle. One day they're not talking to Sarah, the next, it's Tom. They come to you for advice, but this cycle never ends, and you find yourself at odds with Sarah or Tom because you tried to help. A useful strategy here is reflective listening. Instead of offering advice or taking sides, mirror their words back to them. For instance, if they say, "I can't believe Sarah said that about me," respond with, "So you feel betrayed by Sarah's words." This technique allows you to provide support without getting drawn into the drama. Another approach is to become selectively unavailable. Stoicism teaches us to value our time, and sometimes that means being unavailable for other people's recurring crises. Turn off your phone during certain hours, create focus periods for your work or personal development, and let others know you're not to be disturbed during these times. As Seneca said, true happiness is to enjoy the present without anxious dependence upon the future. This is especially helpful with drama magnets. Instead of worrying about their next crisis, focus on the present moment where you have control. Enjoy your life and steer clear of whirlpools that threaten your personal growth and tranquility. Type of people to avoid. Number 3, the naysayer. Third on our list is the naysayer. Imagine you're an artist painting a canvas, adding color, depth, and life with each brush stroke. The naysayer walks in, glances at your work, and immediately starts critiquing. Are you sure about that color? That doesn't look realistic. You know, most artists never make it, right? Their words dull your vibrant canvas with strokes of gray paint. This isn't constructive criticism, which can be valuable. It's persistent doubt and negativity. For instance, say you're excited about a new career path. You've done your research, spoken to professionals, and taken some courses. When you share your enthusiasm with the naysayer, they quickly list all the reasons it won't work out. The market is too competitive. Do you have the right skills? What if you fail? Their doubts start to feel like your own, shaking your self-assured vision. How do you deal with a naysayer, especially if they're close to you? One effective method is to ask for their advice rather than just sharing your plans. When people are in an advisory role, they're less likely to attack your ideas outright and may offer more constructive feedback. Another technique is positive confrontation. Instead of absorbing their negativity, challenge them to think of solutions. If they say, "You'll never switch careers at this stage," counter with, "Interesting perspective. How do you think someone could successfully make a career change?" This deflects negativity and encourages a more constructive conversation. Epictetus said, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." Listening doesn't mean absorbing negativity. It means discerning valuable input from mere noise. When naysayers start to cloud your canvas, take a step back. Listen, reflect, and continue painting your life with the colors that speak to you. Don't let anyone turn your vibrant masterpiece into a dull gray landscape. Type of people to avoid. Number 4, the victim. Fourth, we have the victim. Imagine life as a chess game, with each player having the same pieces and goal to checkmate the opponent's king. You think strategically, make sacrifices, and take risks. The victim, however, blames the board, pieces, or opponent for every poor move. They're perpetually in checkmate, not because of their choices, but due to some external force against them. Their narrative is a never-ending tale of woe, casting themselves as the helpless protagonist. I can't get ahead at work because my boss dislikes me, or I can't get fit because of bad genetics. While some people face genuine hardships, the victim uses their predicament as a permanent excuse, refusing to take responsibility for their actions. You might find yourself entangled in their storyline, perhaps as the supporting character who constantly needs to rescue them. For example, you've spent countless hours listening to a friend blame their failed relationships entirely on their ex-partners. This not only consumes your time but can also subtly encourage a victim mindset in your own life. So, what's your move when dealing with a victim? It might be tempting to become their savior, offering endless advice and support. But the Stoics would caution against this. They'd recommend drawing a firm boundary to protect your mental state. Employ compassionate detachment, show empathy and kindness, but don't rescue them from situations they need to navigate themselves. Offer a listening ear but refrain from becoming their perpetual problem solver. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injustice." If you're drawn into the victim's narrative, resist becoming one yourself. Control your own game board, make your moves, and remember, in life's chess game, being perpetually in checkmate is often a choice, not fate. Keep moving forward, make strategic sacrifices, and play for personal growth and wisdom. Type of people to avoid. Number 5, the envious. Fifth, we have the envious. Picture this: you're climbing a mountain, focusing on your path, each step taking you closer to the summit. Suddenly, you notice someone nearby, not climbing their path, but watching you with narrowed eyes and a scowl. This is the envious individual, fixated on your success, not to celebrate it, but to resent it. Envy is a toxic emotion that undermines relationships and breeds hostility. It's the friend who can't be happy for your promotion, the colleague who downplays your achievements, or the family member who constantly compares their life to yours. Their envy creates an atmosphere of competition and distrust, where you feel the need to hide your successes to maintain peace. For instance, you've just received significant recognition at work. You're proud and excited to share the news with your friend, but their lukewarm response and passive-aggressive comments dampen your joy. This reaction can leave you questioning your achievements and feeling guilty for your success. How do we, as aspiring Stoics, handle the envious? Practice humility and gratitude. By staying grounded and thankful for your achievements without flaunting them, you can mitigate some of the envy directed towards you. Another approach is to limit the information you share with such individuals. If someone consistently reacts negatively to your success, avoid discussing your accomplishments with them. You can also try to transform their envy into inspiration. Encourage them to pursue their goals and offer genuine support. Sometimes, envious individuals need a nudge to focus on their path rather than envying yours. Seneca reminds us, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor. This wisdom can guide you in dealing with envious individuals. By cultivating contentment and focusing on your journey, you can rise above envy's pettiness and continue climbing your mountain, undeterred by others' negativity. Type of people to avoid. Number 6, the self-absorbed. Sixth on our list is the self-absorbed. Imagine attending a concert, eager to enjoy the music. However, the person next to you constantly talks about themselves, drowning out the symphony with their monologue. This is the self-absorbed individual, fixated on their world, with little regard for others' thoughts or feelings. Self-absorbed people dominate conversations, turning every discussion back to themselves. For example, you share a personal challenge, seeking advice or empathy, but they quickly pivot to a similar experience they had, making it all about them. This behavior can make you feel unheard and undervalued, stifling meaningful connection. How do we navigate interactions with the self-absorbed? One effective method is active listening. Allow them to speak, but guide the conversation by asking questions that steer towards a balanced dialogue. For instance, after they've shared their story, gently redirect with, "That's interesting. I had a similar experience recently. Can I share it with you?" Another strategy is setting boundaries. If someone constantly monopolizes conversations, limit your time with them. Choose your interactions wisely, ensuring they don't drain your emotional energy. Marcus Aurelius advised, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." By embodying the virtues of patience, empathy, and balance in your interactions, you can counter the self-absorption around you. Lead by example, fostering a culture of mutual respect and understanding. In the concert of life, don't let the self-absorbed drown out your symphony. Listen actively, set boundaries, and ensure your voice is heard, contributing to a harmonious exchange of ideas and experiences. Type of people to avoid. Number 7, the manipulator. Lastly, we have the manipulator. Picture life as a game of chess, each move calculated and deliberate. The manipulator, however, plays by their own rules, using deceit and cunning to control the board. They exploit emotions and situations to their advantage, often at the expense of your well-being. Manipulators are skilled at creating an illusion of trust, only to use your vulnerabilities against you. For instance, a colleague might feign friendship to gain access to your ideas, later presenting them as their own. Or, a friend might use guilt to coerce you into doing favors, knowing you find it hard to say no. How do we defend against manipulators? The first step is awareness. Recognize the signs of manipulation. Guilt-tripping, gaslighting, and excessive flattery are common tactics. Once aware, establish clear boundaries. Politely but firmly say no when necessary and avoid sharing personal information that could be used against you. Epictetus said, "He who is not a good servant will not be a good master." This wisdom teaches us to master our own minds and emotions, making it harder for manipulators to exploit us. Cultivate emotional intelligence, remain vigilant, and trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Seek out relationships built on mutual respect and honesty. Surround yourself with people who uplift and support you, steering clear of those who seek to manipulate for their gain. In the chess game of life, play with integrity and wisdom, ensuring that your moves are guided by virtue and resilience. In conclusion, navigating relationships is a crucial aspect of our Stoic journey. While we may not always have control over who enters our lives, we have the power to choose how we respond to them. By recognizing and managing the complainers, drama magnets, naysayers, victims, envious, manipulators, and self-absorbed individuals, we protect our inner peace and cultivate a supportive and uplifting circle. Remember the wisdom of the Stoics: we become what we repeatedly do. Surround yourself with those who inspire you to be your best, and strive to be a beacon of Stoic resilience and virtue in the lives of others. Thank you for watching, and may you continue to grow in wisdom and strength.